Okay, so this is classwork number 5. It's called Effects of TV Advertising. This is version B. So we're going to do something a little bit different with this TV advertising. So our question is, what are the effects of repeated exposure to an advertising message? The answer may depend on how often the ad is repeated. An experiment investigated this question using 120 undergrad students as subjects. All the subjects watched the same 40-minute TV show that included ads for a digital camera. Subjects were randomly assigned to see either one commercial during that show, 3 of the same commercial, or 5 of the same commercial for that camera. So we're going to identify the following. Our subjects are going to be these 120 undergrad students. Okay, and then the thing that we did with them was we had them watch this commercial during the show either once, 3, or 5 times. So my levels are going to be either 1 time, 3 times, or 5 times. And then I need to come up with a name for that factor. So let's call this just number of commercials. Okay. The name of the factor, there's kind of some wiggle room there for that. So if you called this exposure to an ad or something like that, anything along those lines is going to be fine. A lot of times there's not really one great name for the factor, so there's a little bit to interpretation, and that's fine. And then our response variable is going to be the interest in this digital camera. All right, so let's go ahead and diagram this one. Now that we've kind of looked and figured out some of these pieces. So we're going to use this same format. We'll start out with our subjects. We have 120 undergrads. Oops. A little bit low there. Let me scoot that up. And on all of these ones at the very beginning of the chapter, there's no organizational component to these. We just take our subjects, we split them into groups and give them their treatment. So for right now, this organized is going to be NA. All right, for my treatments, I have 3 treatments I'm giving, either 1 commercial, 3 commercials, or 5 commercials. So that means I need 3 groups. So I'm going to split this guy up into 3 groups. 120 divided by 3 gives me 40 students in each group. And the problem tells us that they were randomly assigned to these groups, so we're going to go ahead and stick an RA in there for randomly assigned. And that's a good thing. That's going to give us our cause and effect. And then one group watched the commercial once, another group 3 times, and the last group 5 times. And then we're going to wrap that all up by comparing their responses to their interest in the camera. Right, so each group will get evaluated, and then we'll compare their interest in the camera kind of based on which group. Our list of subjects, it's going to split out into groups, and then it'll come back together for our response variable.